Welcome to Ancient Wisdom for Modern Work. In the hustle of profit, product, and productivity, it's easy to neglect the how, our ethics, our conduct, and our internal state of being. But what if the secret to sustainable success wasn't found in the latest management trend, but in wisdom that's existed for thousands of years? The host of this podcast, Kimberly Killer, is here to explore the ancient concepts of yamas and niyamas as a powerful framework for modern leadership. So, without further ado, let's get started.
Hello, and welcome to Ancient Wisdom for Modern Work, a podcast designed to help you apply proven lessons from the yogi masters of yesteryear to the work we do today. I'm your host and guide, Kimberly Kaler, and it is my great pleasure to share my insight on how to meld mindfulness into our work world, however you define work, as a teacher, corporate executive, or a community volunteer. Today's topic is Brahmacharya in leadership, mastering the art of moderation. We live in a culture that often equates exhaustion with importance. If a leader isn't answering emails at midnight, skipping lunch to squeeze in another meeting, or flying across 3 time zones in a week, we question their dedication. We wear our busyness like a badge of honor, signaling to the world that we are indispensable. But this relentless pursuit of more hours, more tasks, more output, is leading toward a crisis of sustainability. In ancient philosophy of yoga, the fourth yama is Brahmacharya, traditionally interpreted as celibacy or sexual restraint. Its application in modern life, and specifically in business, is far more expansive and relevant. It translates to right use of energy or moderation. It is the discipline of managing our vitality so we do not deplete ourselves. For leaders, Brahmacharya is the antidote to burnout. It challenges the assumption that meaningful work requires us to run ourselves into the ground. Instead, it invites us to lead with a sense of balance, preserving our energy not just for the sake of our own health, but for the longevity and ethical health of our organizations. The myth of the infinite battery. The core misunderstanding in modern management is that human energy is linear, infinite resource, that we simply push harder and we will get more done. Science, however, tells a different story. We are rhythmic beings. Our bodies and brains operate in cycles of expenditure and recovery, thinking about those circadian and then ultradian rhythms. When we ignore these rhythms in favor of constant output, our decision-making suffers, our emotional intelligence drops, and our creativity vanishes. Brahmacharya asks us to treat our energy like a precious, finite budget. Just as we wouldn't recklessly spend a company's capital without a return on investment, we shouldn't recklessly spend our own vitality. When a leader lacks moderation, the consequences ripple outward. To begin, diminished judgment. Fatigue acts on the brain similarly to intoxication. Overworked leaders are more likely to make impulsive, short-term decisions. Toxic culture. A leader who never rests sends a silent mandate to their team. Rest is for the weak. This creates a culture of presentism where looking busy is more valued than being productive. Loss of genius work. We all have a zone of genius, high-value work that we only can do. When we are cluttered with excess commitments, we dilute our focus, spending $100 worth of energy on $10 tasks. Energy management versus time management. We often try to solve the problem of overload with better time management. We color code our calendars and our folders, use productivity apps, and try to hack our way to efficiency. But Brahmacharya teaches us that time management is irrelevant without energy management. You can have 2 free hours in your schedule, but if you're mentally depleted, those 2 hours are useless. Applying moderation means becoming fiercely protective of where you direct your attention. It involves identifying energy leaks, those habits, people, or tasks that drain you without offering value on return. The leak of always being on. One of the most significant violations of Brahmacharya is the digital age in our connectivity. The notification ping has become the metronome of our lives. By constantly reacting to incoming stimuli, emails, Slack messages, news alerts, we fracture our attention. This state of fragmented attention is costly. It takes an average 23 minutes to regain deep focus after an interruption. By failing to moderate our intake of information, we steal from our capacity to think deeply. A leader practicing Brahmacharya might choose to check email only 3 times a day, or designate a no meeting Friday to allow for such deep work. This isn't about doing less work. It's about doing better work by respecting the brain's need for singularity of focus. How to have the courage to set the boundaries. Moderation requires the courage to say no. This is often terrifying for leaders who want to be seen as capable and accommodating and responsive. We fear that setting boundary will look like failure. However, a yes to everyone is a no to your own well-being and strategic priorities. If you accept every meeting invite, you are saying no to strategic planning time. If you agree to every new project, you're saying no to the quality of your current projects. Practicing Brahmacharya means establishing clear boundaries that define what is enough. For example, work-life separation. It's not just about leaving the office at 5 p.m. It's about the psychological detachment from work. It means being fully present with family, friends, hobbies, and allowing the mind to recharge. And then scope creep. In projects, moderation prevents the endless addition of features or goals that dilute the original vision. It disciplines the organization to finish what is started before chasing the next shiny object. Fostering a culture of well-being. A leader's habits are contagious. If you want a team that is creative, resilient, and energetic, you must model that behavior you wish to see. You cannot preach wellness while sending emails at 2 a.m. Integrating Brahmacharya into organizational culture shifts the metric of success from hours worked to value created. It encourages a workplace where taking a lunch break away from the desk is normal, where vacations are truly unplugged, and where saying I'm at capacity is met with support rather than judgment. This approach also fosters sustainability and talent retention. High performers are often the ones most at risk of burnout because they care deeply and have a high capacity for work. By enforcing moderation, you protect your best assets from flaming out. So what are some actionable tips for practicing Brahmacharya? Bringing the concept of moderation down from the physical clouds and into your daily routine requires intentional practice. Here are several strategies to help you lead with Brahmacharya. Number 1, an energy audit. Take a week to track your energy levels, not just your time. Note which activities leave you feeling invigorated and which leave you drained. Does the weekly status meeting deplete you? Do you feel energized after mentoring a junior employee? Does checking email first thing in the morning ruin your mood? Once you identify the drains, apply moderation. Delegate, restructure, or eliminate the tasks that leak your vitality. Number 2, implement the sacred pause. Build buffers back into your day. Back-to-back meetings are a recipe for cognitive fatigue. Schedule 10 or 15 minutes between appointments. Use this time not to check your phone, but to breathe, stretch, or stare out the window. This brief recovery period resets your nervous system, allowing you to bring a fresh presence into the next interaction. Establish blackout periods. Define times when you are unreachable. This might be from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., or it might be largely on weekends. Communicate this to your team. I'm disconnecting to recharge so I can be at my best for you on Monday. By doing so, you give them permission to do the same. Number 4, practice single tasking. Multitasking is a myth. We are simply switching tasking rapidly, which burns glucose in the brain at an accelerated rate. Practice doing one thing at a time. If you're in a meeting, be in a meeting. Close the laptop. If you're writing a report, close the email. This is Brahmacharya in action, directing your full energy to the present moment rather than scattering it. And then finally, number 5, redefine urgent. In a reactive business environment, everything feels urgent, but true emergencies are rare. Train yourself and your team to pause before hitting the panic button. Ask yourself, does this actually require immediate attention, or can it wait until we have the bandwidth to address it properly? Moderating the sense of urgency reduces cortisol levels and allows for more thoughtful responses. So tying this all up, the strength and restraint. Brahmacharya challenges the modern narrative that more is better. It proposes a radical idea that by doing less, but doing it with greater focus and preserved energy, we achieve more. Moderation is not laziness. It is a strategic discipline. It is my understanding that you are the instrument of your leadership, and that instrument is broken, and the music stops. By practicing Brahmacharya, move away from the frantic, breathless pace of survival mode and step into a rhythm of sustainable, high-impact leadership. We learn that the most powerful thing a leader can sometimes do is pause, breathe, and preserve their fire for the moments that truly matter.
Thank you so much for listening to Ancient Wisdom for Modern Work, a podcast designed to meld mindfulness into the work we do. We invite you to subscribe as well as visit wisdomfortheworkwedo.com for additional resources. Until next time, we invite you to consider how you can apply the wisdom yogi masters of yesteryear to the work we do today, with integrity, clarity, and compassion.